Hi, I'm Joe, and I am here to review Paul McCartney's 1992 album, Off the Ground. Like most of McCartney's solo work after the Beatles, and also definitely including a lot of the work that he did with Wings, a lot of his solo work, I think, is really very underrated. There's some really great songs on a lot of his albums, post-Beatles, and a lot of people know about the hits, but there's so many different songs that he did that were so great that just have gone so unnoticed over the years. I kind of think that Off the Ground is one of those albums that wasn't really on the radar very much. He did do a huge world tour after the album was released, but around the time of 1992, he wasn't quite in the public eye the way he was, say, around 1982 when Tug of War came out. But still, this album, Off the Ground, is, in my opinion, it's an underrated classic of his. It's not one that we hear too much about these days. By the way, this particular collection is called The Complete Works, and this was, I believe, an import CD that came out with the original CD as one, and then all of the B-sides and extra tracks that were released on all the CD singles that came out at the time. This album in particular just has some more of kind of a rockier approach, I think, than the previous album, Flowers in the Dirt. I think Flowers in the Dirt was an excellent album. It definitely reflected the late 80s as far as the times. I think Off the Ground was a little bit more kind of rockier, maybe a little bit more kind of like Back to the Egg or Ram even. There were more guitars, and also there was a bit more kind of that McCartney rock energy in this particular album. The title track is great. It's always a great track to play. Looking for Changes is about animal rights. Still, even today in 2010, it's a very powerful song to listen to. Hope of Deliverance was pretty much the big single off the album. It's a very uplifting track. It's a nice track to listen to when you're kind of down in the dumps. It'll definitely bring you up. Mistress and Maid is a collaboration with Elvis Costello. I believe it was written with him. I Owe It All to You is a beautiful ballad. That's a really nice song to listen to, especially when you kind of think of it as a nice little tribute to Linda. I'm sure it was written about her. Biker Like an Icon is a little bit on that kind of McCartney catchy, hooky thing that he does with lyrics. It's a fun track to listen to, definitely. And I also recently saw the video for it too, which is on the McCartney Years 3 DVD set that he had out. Peace in the Neighborhood reminds me a little bit of Steely Dan when I listen to that. He also did that on the tour in 1993, which was a lot of fun to hear that. Throughout most of this album, Off the Ground, there's a usual upbeat vibe of just peace and looking for changes in the world and trying to make things better. That's definitely the theme of this album. This album's also a little more political too, as was Flowers in the Dirt to a certain extent. I think this kind of carries it on a little bit. Golden Earth Girl is a very nice ballad, also about Linda, I'm assuming, which was really nice. The Lovers That Never Were is kind of an interesting waltz-type song in 4/4 time, also with Elvis Costello. Get Out of My Way is a rock track, a lot of fun. He did it on Saturday Night Live, which was a lot of fun. Wine Dark Open Sea is just a very kind of atmospheric McCartney kind of little mellow tune, which is really nice, kind of takes you out there. And then the last track, Come On People, is very Beatlesque, and it's very optimistic. It's a great song to really get you motivated and energetic. And then at the very end, there's a little coda of this song called Cosmically Conscious, which was one of the B-sides. overall, Off the Ground is really it's a very good piece of work. It's easy to overlook it, but it's good to seek out if you're trying to collect a lot of McCartney albums. If you can get this set, the complete set, it's great. The second CD, the B-sides that are on there, there's some excellent tracks that are on there. My favorite is called Kicked Around No More, which is a really nice ballad that he does with some great lyrics. There's also Big Boys Bickering, which was quite controversial at the time because of the fact that McCartney uses the F word several times in the song. And there's also a lot of other really good tracks on that second CD. So I definitely give it an excellent rating. Check it out. If you like Paul, if you're a Beatles fan, you might really enjoy this. So see if you can find it. It's worth it.